Thank you very much. Frontline Advocacy in the School Library, also known as been down so long it's all looking up to me. I need not say much more about California, 51 out of 50. But let's see if I can, I'm not coordinated enough to do this. Okay. In school libraries, all library workers are frontline workers. There's many permutations of what the staffing is in a school library. It can be a teacher librarian and a clerk, volunteers, or no clear staffing at all. Teachers in general have their administrators to advocate to, and librarians are the same, but there's no one definitely looking out to advocate for school librarians at the higher levels. We, by the nature of our educational system, have to be our own advocates, and because our advocacy efforts have to center on gaining advocates for us, because advocacy, we know that advocacy needs to come from others, moms, dads, students, colleagues, teachers, and administrators. California School Library Association is also a lead advocate for school libraries in all their forms. So here's what we know, that advocacy does need to come from someone other than ourselves, as has been mentioned before. And the other thing we know is that no one hates libraries. Everyone, ask anyone, walk down your street, what do you think about libraries? Libraries are good. We all have a memory about libraries one way or another. And so the ironic or totally incredibly interesting thing about today's world is that school libraries are disappearing because of lack of information to the right people. Our job is to get that information out to the world. So in the library world, who is that we need to advocate to? And these are the people that need to hear us. It's all listed up there. They're all there. It's pretty much everyone. When I asked school administrators what they needed to know in order to be able to weigh the value of teacher librarians and fight for them, they said they need to know what the research says about libraries and student achievement, and then they need to know what do you do to make that happen. So we need to do things that make that happen. We need to collaborate with our colleagues to make dynamic lessons. We need to be providing the instruction that students need and all the rest. But the hardest thing we need to do is to get that information out there. And so frontline workers are often too overwhelmed with the day-to-day work on the job or feel lower on the scale of importance in their system. So what we're finding out is that it's important to be able to talk about ourselves and our work. People can't know what we do unless we tell and show them. And so our first stop is to learn how to brag. Brag, you say? Yes, brag. Brag, the art of tooting your own horn without blowing it. This is a book we used by Peggy Kloss. I highly recommend it. We used it as a one book, one conference book talk. And what we did was we had everybody at the table sit down and write their own brags after we explained how you brag. I'm not going to do that today. We've posted those brags on our CSLA website, and it's really not so much bragging as it's what I call talking story. So you talk story. I told you I'm not coordinated. I'm a slide ahead here. Talking story. So we created or recreated a program that CSLA put on many years ago and found to be successful then, and we're finding that we're going to make it successful again. It's called Bestsellers. There's pamphlets about it in the back with the URL. It's all about teacher librarians and library advocates inviting Californians of all ages who already care passionately about student success, reading in libraries, to become official spokespersons, or what we call bestsellers. How does it work? Well, once a CSLA member identifies a bestseller, we have the bestseller. Well, all a bestseller has to do is talk about libraries when it's appropriate. We provide the materials to them, we give it to them, and we help them figure out opportunities when and where they can talk about libraries. We have our members get their tutorial information from the CSLA website, from the AASL toolkit, and a variety of resources like that. So this tutorial that we have will help you discover how to make that happen. But why does it work? It works because it's set at the comfort level of advocating. You talk to your friends, your husband, your neighbors, your co-workers. You tell them what you do. You let them see what you do. And we encourage everyone to do it. And we also actually encourage our members to go to another group. We encourage them to go to their legislators. Okay, so this year we're doing our California campaign for strong school libraries. And part of that, the bestsellers is part of that campaign. But the March in March to Sacramento is our Leggy Day. We're going to do a series of Leggy Days this time. And we encourage all CSLA members and their bestsellers to walk together to their local legislators. We're not going down to Sacramento. We're not doing any kind of big advocacy like that. But by dropping in and saying hi on Fridays when your legislator is there, then you can get to know them. Better yet, you get to know their aides, because they are the people who really make it happen. What you do is you drop by enough time, you drop off the literature, you drop in to say hi, so that should you be in Sacramento, the coolest thing to do is to walk down the hall and to have your assembly member nod at you because they know your name. But that you know the person in the office also knows your name. So you call up, hi, Connie here, just want you to know there's a little piece of legislation you might like to look at that has to do with education. So it's a great way to kind of up our confidence as advocates, feeling confident and meeting legislators. The next step, okay, you have bestsellers, you have action advocacy in terms of showing, don't tell. We really encourage that a lot of in school libraries, it's all about becoming leaders. Lead the curriculum committee, lead your staff in classroom learning 2.0, lead the district accreditation committee, present at content conferences. And I say content conferences, English department conferences, social studies, national middle schools, not just to the choir. We've got to start preaching outside. Being a leader can include creating those cool programs that bring about big changes on sites. Things such as the athletes as leaders and readers, million-word challenges, whatever you might have that happens all the time, we encourage you to brand it. Give it a name, teach it everywhere you go to conferences and teach it, spread it and grow it. The CSLA has created a series of 2.0 tutorials, started out giving it to teacher librarians, and then we encourage them to go to the Classroom Library Association, or the Classroom Learning 2.0. And we're now also building a tutorial for school administrators. Bottom line is 3 key messages. These are the key messages, but to distill it even further, equitable access, standards provide blueprints, strong school libraries build strong students and lifelong learners. Those are the key messages. If you say nothing else, you say that. A strong school library includes at least a full-time librarian and a full-time clerk, supported by substantial and consistent funding. We're spreading the word so that administrators can understand these 3 messages, the biggest one being that strong school libraries build strong students and lifelong learners, and anyone can do that.